guys? Welcome back to another video. And today, well, this would be the first analysis video on the Jurassic World Rebirth dinosaur design, but I decided to start with the worst one, which is the horrible mutant abomination, and I don't want to do an analysis of that, so instead we're doing something else. But anyway, the other videos will be analysis videos. This is just the first one, and I'm just going to stay this here since this video is kind of already weird as it is. I'm not doing, as of now, I'm not doing Parasaurolophus, the rumored Triceratops, rumored Aqualops, the Velociraptor, and the rumored Myosaura right now, since we actually don't know what that looks like. But once we get like images and or toys of those dinosaurs, I will do videos on them. So yeah, we're only doing the ones that we have like revealed, like actual official stuff revealing their designs and stuff. I mean, I technically could do it for Parasaurolophus because we do have an image, but I'm just gonna wait until we get like more for it. But anyways. Today, we're going to be talking about this horrible, this horrible thing. I hate this thing. I've come around on Titanosaurus a little bit. Still not a big fan of it, but I've come around a little bit. This thing, on the other hand, there's nothing you can do to make me like this thing. This thing is just bad. Anyways, today we're going to be doing this video with a very simple title. Top 15 dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures that would have been better than this horrible creature in Jurassic World Rebirth. So, yeah. Anyways. This is going to be my list of top 15 creatures, which there's actually more than 15, but we'll get to that in a second, that would have been way better options than this horrible thing. Anyways, number 15, Meraxes. I kind of lump these first four together since they're very similar, but I decided to have them as separate options, but they are very similar, so we're just going to get one page. Meraxes is number 15, number 14 is Tyrannotitan, number 13 is Mapusaurus, and number 12 is Carnotaurus. And generally, the reason why Carnotaurus is the highest on this list is mainly because I think it actually has the most reason to be here, since it's the largest out of these guys. And also, Carnotaurus is just the more popular out of the other ones. That's why also Mapusaurus didn't go too far behind it, because it's also a little bit more popular than the others. Tyrannotitan is not as popular, but I think has a name that, for marketing reasons, they would probably go for. And then Meraxes is last place, and since it is smaller, but I have heard some more recent estimates that have this thing actually massive. So, yeah. Meraxes here also has a pretty cool name. So, yeah, these are the first four. Anyways, moving on to number 11. Saurophaganax. Yes, I know it's been, well, at least the original remains have been reclassified to a sauropod, and the later remains that were found, which are from Allosaurus, have been given their own species of Allosaurus, being Allosaurus anax. I'm going to refer to it as Saurophaganax, but this is Allosaurus. This is Allosaurus anax. So yeah, anyways, this guy could be in the film, but they may not go for it, since I did put it kind of lower on the list, and realistically I probably should put this actually 15, since this is probably not the best choice, but generally, because we already have Allosaurus in the franchise, and this would just kind of be another Allosaurus, but I feel like Allosaurus didn't truly ever get an introduction into the franchise. It kind of got introduced as a juvenile in Fallen Kingdom, but barely. And then next time we see it is like in Dominion as an adult, and it didn't really get an introduction there. And then now we had it in, like, actually we technically got it introduced in Battle at Big Rock, kind of, but that's that is a short film that not everyone has seen. And then we kind of just moved past. Allosaurus just kind of appeared here. We just kind of skated past it. So I think Allosaurus getting a full debut, either listed as Allosaurus anax or Saurophaganax, it would be cool to see it in the film as the villain dinosaur. But again, due to the size possibly being smaller, and if how much they can scale it with it still being reasonable, I do put it a little bit lower on this list. Anyways, number 10, Spinosaurus. Now, why Spinosaurus is here? You may be saying Spinosaurus is already in the film, but it's not the villain dinosaur. And I have a theory that the reason why the Spinosaurus' design looks the way that it is because it's not really going to be it's not going to be used as a dinosaur. Instead, it's going to function more as just another marine reptile, which I think it would have actually been cool if they had another marine reptile teaming up with the Mosasaurus, and I think it would also make more sense. And then have Spinosaurus as the actual antagonist of the film. Or we could have another alternate idea, which I don't have it on here, but Spinosaurus could be like, not the antagonist, but the protagonist kind of the film, at least dinosaur protagonist, and T-Rex could be the antagonist of the film, have T-Rex be the villain. That would be pretty cool as well. Or just have Spinosaurus in the film somewhere else. I kind of wish, I don't know if we're going to even get a scene of it on land, or if we do, it's not going to be very long, but generally, I think Spinosaurus could work as the villain, but at the same time, I don't know, just again, put a little bit lower since there's other creatures, and also Spinosaurus is already in the film, and though its design is kind of questionable in the trailer, I'm using the Mattel figure, and this looks great. Absolutely love the Mattel figure's design. Anyways, moving on to number 9, Deinocheirus. Why I put Deinocheirus on here, it seems that they want to do something different, and instead of I just want to show that there are many other ways that they could have done a new interesting concept for a villain dinosaur besides doing that monstrosity. So anyways, Deinocheirus is here. It's another large dinosaur, not as big, but honestly I wouldn't be surprised if they oversized it just to make it fight the T-Rex or something. Also, we seem to be in more of a jungly, swampy area, and Deinocheirus is usually associated and actually would have lived in a more swampy environment. Also, it's just really cool. It's an animal I really want to see in the Jurassic franchise. I know other people want to see in the Jurassic franchise, and it's just really unique. Also, it has long arms, and though it does, I don't think it really has. I actually don't know. Does Deinocheirus have teeth or not? If so, it still would have been mostly omnivorous, but still definitely would have eaten meat. Anyways, on to number 8, Mape. Mape realistically shouldn't be an option since it was not that large, and I don't think oversized. Actually, oversizing this would probably not be a good idea, and also it would have been a solitary animal. But we're just going to pretend. When I say Mape, I mean specifically the Amazing Dino World Mape, because that thing is a pack hunter and is mentally insane with the target to go after. Honestly, this thing ravaging through the island would make sense since this thing attacks anything it comes across. Have you seen this thing attack Fortosaurus in Amazing Dino World 2? Just take that exact Mape. It doesn't make sense in a documentary, but in a Jurassic film, a pack of these things would be really cool to see. Possibly even see it take down the Titanosaurus. That would be pretty cool. But anyways, yeah, Mape, definitely an option, but again, they would actually have to go with that scenario specifically with the Amazing Dino World kind of personality for the Mape at least, with it to work. Otherwise, I don't think it would really work in the film. But yeah, that's why it's a little bit lower on the list again. Number 8. Number 7, the Carnotaurus is from the Lost World novel / arcade. I know in the novel they're described to be more chameleon-like in most concepts you see for this Carnotaurus. They have it look more like a chameleon slightly, but I kind of just want them to take the Lost World arcade one and just maybe like beef that design out a little bit more, since it's kind of more of an accurate Carnotaurus. Since they seem to be going with more accurate dinosaur designs, and the Jurassic World Carnotaurus is not the worst, but it's also not really accurate. They could do a more accurate kind of Carnotaurus, except it can actually camouflage. Another reason why this would make sense is that, again, I think that they should keep them, they should have them smaller than Jurassic World Carnotaurus is, but maybe just have them, I don't know, close to the size as the real-life Carnotaurus. Since the ones in the novels, I believe, are actually smaller than real-life Carnotauruses, I think that this would be nice. The reason why they should be here in this film is, again, this is at an old engine research facility, and these were pretty much dinosaurs too dangerous to be in the park. In the novel, it is stated that these Carnotauruses are actually pretty much feared by everything, including the T-Rex on the island, just due to how dangerous they are, with them being pretty much impossible to see. And also, if we have 2 of them, we could have, honestly, not only get that scene from the novel, but also just generally have them be a bit more of a threat with 2 of them. So yeah, I would really love to see this thing, and this would be really unique. But yeah, anyways, moving on to number 6 through 3. So yeah, anyway, 6, Prionosuchus. Honestly, not the best choice, but I think could definitely work. It'd be really unique to see a giant amphibian. Also, I just love to see Prionosuchus in something more recent. Anyways, moving on to 5, Sarcosuchus. Reason I put it a little bit lower than the next number 4, which is Purosaurus, since Sarcosuchus is a bit smaller and also more slender, though it's a little bit more popular. Purosaurus also could work. Technically could be number 3 as well, but Deinosuchus is just more popular. I prefer to see it in the film and just generally looks cooler, since Purosaurus looks a little bit goofy. If you've seen its skull, it's kind of rounded. Well, Deinosuchus is just like a giant alligator. So yeah, these guys are all would play a similar role, but we've been needing a giant crocodilian-like animal, since only Purosaurus and Deinosuchus are crocodilians, Prionosuchus an amphibian, and Sarcosuchus a relative of crocodilians. I think it'd be cool to see one of these guys in the franchise. And also, it would sorry for my words messing up, but anyways, it could have some roots back to the Indominus Rex, since we do know Deinosuchus DNA was in the Indominus Rex, so possibly have Deinosuchus' history in the Jurassic franchise go back even further to the original park. Anyways, now we move on to number 2, Titanoboa. This would actually be one of the more unique ones out of all of these, and generally I think Titanoboa would just be a really cool thing to see. A lot of people want to see Titanoboa since it's a pretty popular animal, and also we could have it fight things pretty uniquely, since it can actually wrap around them and try to constrict them. And also could be pretty interesting to see some characters maybe walking through the swamp while this thing's completely wrapped around them and they have to try to get away from it. But yeah, again, also more lush, tropical, rivery, and swampy terrain, which is what Titanoboa would have lived in. So yeah, Titanoboa would be pretty cool though. I don't know if it really kind of fits with the theming, but this weird mutant abomination doesn't even fit with the franchise. So honestly, Titanoboa would be a better pick. Anyways, we move on to my number one, and Shantungosaurus. Why Shantungosaurus specifically? Honestly, just because this mutant thing is a weird, ugly, giant quadrupedal thing, why can't we just have Shantungosaurus? It's a large quadrupedal animal. This thing would have been larger than T-Rex, so they wouldn't even need to size it up. And if they really wanted to, they could size it up and make it massive, but they don't really need to, since it's already larger than, would have, at least in scale, would have been larger than any other carnivore in the franchise. Well, excluding Mosasaurus, because that thing's a literal kaiju. But anyways, Shantungosaurus would be a great antagonist. And before anyone says, oh, it's a herbivore, it's not scary, all I have to say to that, next time you go see a hippopotamus in the wild, which I don't know why you would bump into one, try go petting it. Let me know how that goes. And then you can talk. If that goes well for you, then you can talk and say that Shantungosaurus would be friendly. Anyway, Shantungosaurus I think would actually be a pretty interesting threat. Also, apparently the villains don't actually have to be threatening. The Giganotosaurus was literally passive and killed absolutely nothing throughout the film. Rexy has killed many people over the years, and dinosaurs over the years, yet we're supposed to feel good for Rexy, but bad for Giga. Honestly, I don't know. Anyway, Shantungosaurus would just be a really cool creature. And remember how I said, this was my list of 15 better options. I do want to note, I have an honorable mention section, which all creatures I kind of have reasons for kind of optioning out, for at least excluding them from the other list, and also 15 was a nice even number. So anyways, first, Scorpius, Rex, and other hybrids. Again, I kind of have, honestly, I just had Ultimasaurus as an example, and Amarga Spinosaurus, and just some sort of random hybrid, and Scorpius Rex. Scorpius Rex I excluded mainly since it doesn't really fit into the timeline, but I really want to see a live-action Scorpius Rex, so that's the reason why it's here. Ultimasaurus would actually fit in really nicely since these are creatures too dangerous for the park, and this is a Jurassic Park dinosaur somewhat. So yeah, that'd be cool. They could just go with their own hybrid instead of doing a weird, ugly mutant. They could make an actual cool hybrid design. And then, before moving to the last hybrid, I want to mention they could do a sauropod, though. Again, I don't know if... A reason why Shantungosaurus, I think, would work better than a sauropod as a villain in the film is mainly because Shantungosaurus can get around a little bit more. It can rise onto its hind legs and kind of somewhat run, and actually kind of interact with the sauropod would be really slow and lumbering around, kind of like the horrible mutant they chose for this film. But anyways, again, I think a sauropod could possibly work if done right, though. I don't know. So yeah, if they wanted to, they could go with a Amarga Spinosaurus, which could be a bit smaller than other sauropods, which would still be massive, towering over any other theropod in the franchise. But it would kind of like this horrible mutant. Again, I'm sorry for bringing it up more, but again, a Amarga Spinosaurus would be pretty interesting to see. Though I think they would actually have to undersize it, since I think the one in the actual Chaos Effect lineup was massive, at least set on the back of the box. But yeah, Amarga Spinosaurus would be pretty cool. Another one that I optioned out was the Giganotosaurus, because again, Giganotosaurus barely got to do anything in the film, and they could bring it back but with a different design that looked like a more accurate design. And I guess they could definitely do that with the Giganotosaurus, but again, it was in the other film, and I don't think it'd be a bit stale if they bring it back. And then we have Acrocanthosaurus. Technically, I'd say it's a bit too small, and I guess it would kind of just be the Giganotosaurus, but maybe done better. So yeah, I kind of just optioned it off the list. And then we have Spinosaurus, which I know I've joked about this many times, the villain dinosaur being Spinosaurus. But yeah, Spinosaurus I would prefer to see here any day over that weird mutant thing. Mainly because even though Spinosaurus is not a natural animal, and technically they could just argue it's a mutant Spinosaurus, at least this resembles an animal. The mutant thing doesn't resemble any animal from any time in history. And if anything, it only resembles like some monsters from the Monsterverse, which are not really actual animals. So that's why I think Spinosaurus, at least it resembles an elephant seal. So at least that's something. Still, I don't think it would be the best choice. And again, I don't want a mutant in the film at all. But Spinosaurus, it's had to put it here. But yeah, now that we've gone over that list, the reason why I say this video is kind of random, since again, it's not actually an analysis video, it's kind of just me talking about better options. I decided also to throw at the end this new Indominus Jurassic World Reimagined, Jurassic World Legacy Collection Reimagined Real Feel Indominus Rex. I decided just to talk about it here because I kind of want to talk about it, and also it's kind of on brand with being genetically modified. But yeah, I think this figure looks really cool. I know some people aren't a fan of the red, which I can definitely see. I'm also not crazy for it, though I don't really plan on picking up this figure since it's going to be a pretty pricey figure. Well, not super pricey, but still a decent chunk of money. And yeah, I'd rather spend that on something else instead of another Indominus Rex. But yeah, I do think that's great. Definitely the best Indominus Rex that is released. I prefer it over the Dino Tracker one. The Dino Tracker one just looked a little bit too skinny in my opinion, and this one I think just looks a little bit better. Also, definitely similar to the old Hasbro one that released, but definitely better. Still pretty cool, and also I still feel bad that Carnotaurus is the only reimagined figure not to have jaw articulation, which I still think was a ridiculous choice. But yeah, anyways, I'll end this video off with this.